Judge, the theme for our final speech is simple. Why not? That's the question we need to answer. Why not ban animal testing? My opponent argues that banning all animal testing would ban human trials as well, since we have agreed that human beings can be included in the definition of animals. However, there is a major discrepancy here, namely that human trials are not the same as human testing. Why not? Look at my definition in FDA.gov. Testing required by the government using animals is testing for safety and toxicity, not testing for effectiveness. I've proven in my case that toxicity and safety testing can be done with in vitro testing, something that my opponent has not addressed yet. We can conduct toxicity testing in human cell cultures during in vitro testing. We do not need animals in order to conduct toxicity testing. We can ensure that new drugs, including antipsychotics and antidepressants, do not harm a human being before conducting human clinical trials, without the need to use animals. I've already proven that human clinical trials are separate from animal testing and are therefore outside the scope of this debate. So if we already have alternatives that work, why not ban animal testing? Next, my opponent claims that testing on humans would lead to paternalistic coercion. Again, by my evidence, we can completely replace animal testing with in vitro and silico testing. Therefore, we don't have to perform tests on humans any more than we do on animals. No tissue is required for in silico modeling. Human cells used in vitro testing can be cultured, grown from one of 27 existing lines for human cells that have already been donated. No net paternalism or coercion beyond the status quo will result. So if alternatives to animal testing can be performed without coercion or direct human participation, why not ban animal testing? Additionally, my opponent makes the claim that such drugs as antidepressants and antipsychotics cannot be tested for toxicity using alternative testing methods. This is, however, completely untrue. According to the U.S. National Library of Medicine, quote, 21 targets related to depression were selected and were used to create support vector machines, SVM classification models. These models had satisfactory predictions, and some were active against more than one model. Also, a human range of typical and atypical antipsychotics bind to the 5-HT6 receptor. Homology models of the human 5-HT6 receptors were constructed and used. The models generated were in good agreement with the in vitro data. This study suggests a good example of computational molecular biology, end quote. Judge, we can easily conduct tests on these new antipsychotics and antidepressant drugs easily using in silico methods, without the use of live animals, human or non-human. These trials do not invoke or necessitate coercion, as the opposition's case does, essentially rendering his paternalism argument irrelevant, and again poses the question, why not ban animal testing? Judge, don't buy the lie. In silico and in vitro models work and are ready now. They allow us to cure the diseases that most plague mankind without the need to endanger or harm the animals in the process, human or non-human alike. My plan does not harm anyone, as it works just as well, if not better, than the continuation of live animal testing, and solves for both the problems of effectiveness and paternalism and avoids slavery. If we can continue at the same level and rate of scientific advancement without harming any living thing in the process, why shouldn't we? Thank you.